Alrighty, let's update our software and our librarian. You see we're started up the latest librarian version 129. We have a port open. We hit enter to select it. It's cool. We hit enter. And here we are. We hit F2. This takes us to the file listing screen. And we hit F2 again to get the highlight. Go down to the all directory. We hit the C key, which changes us there. We could also have typed this in if we wanted to, like down here. So we see that we have a SPY file, which is our latest software. We have an EEPROM file, which is everything. It's our presets, our profiles, and our software. We have two new files here. This is the pre file, and it contains all presets and perhaps counterintuitively also the profiles, all of the profiles. And that's just because the preset and profile spaces are contiguous and the pro is kind of in the middle. And then we have a pro file, which contains all of our profiles. So what we do, the procedure here is in the update document, is do a ver, and we see that our version is D202. When we look that up in the table that's in the document, we see that it's dated 2022-05-04, but that a significant update happened on 05-06 that changed all of the presets, or an awful lot of them. So that tells us our presets are kind of stale and could probably use updating. So, you know, presented with this or an earlier version, I would just go ahead and do the blast. But first we need to back up. Just for safety's sake, we'll do we'll capture a snapshot of the entire system so we can always go right back to it very easily. So my snapshot, you can call this file whatever you want. You don't have to put EEPROM on the end. Okay, and this is grabbing all of our software presets and profiles. And you can do this with the latest librarian, you can do it with an earlier librarian. The most recent ones support this dump feature and pump feature. Okay, so if we hit F2 again, we get the highlight. We go over and we see that we indeed do have my snapshot to EEPROM. So we're cool to do like anything we want to the system. And we'll turn off the highlight. And we'll say what we should do now is back up our system profile 0. So I'm going to call it my profile 0. You can call it whatever you want. You don't have to put DLP on the end, but you can if you want. Oh, and we need to get it from slot 100. Because slot 100 in the old D-Lev software, not the librarian, but the software, is the system profile 0 location. So we'll do that, and then we'll say slot to profile file. If we have F2, turn on the highlight, we go over here, and indeed we have my profile 0 along with the EEPROM. So now, like I said, you know, with this older version of software and presets and stuff, I would go ahead and blast it with the new EEPROM file, and we'll do that at the end just to show you how easy it is. But first I want to kind of do it in bits. I want to do separate updates for each thing. So let's get the, we still have the highlight on. We're going to get the SPY file and do a SPY pump. What this does is it updates the software, just the software. And sometimes you have to update the presets too because they're kind of out of sync with the software. And that's kind of the case here. But I just want to show you that, you know, if you had like, say, version B11C, that one you could use the current presets that you have, or like if you have version 93152C, you could use you could just update the software and the system profiles and stuff. Yeah, and well, I'll show you. So let's do a ver. Oops. Ver. Okay, we've got the latest software version here, confirmed. And so let's go ahead then and update just the latest presets. So we get this bank file here that I provided, and it covers just the slots 100 through 120. These are the brand new slots. This new software has opened up 21 more slots for presets. So we get this, hit enter, and then we say we want to start on slot 100, and then we say bank to slot and hit space. And then we hit the up arrow to recall the command, and then we set this to -100. So what the first command did it to slots 100 through 120. Now we're writing to slots -100 through -120. Right. If we go to the F3 screen and we say -120 to 135, that's the new slot range, the entire slot range of the presets and profiles. And we say slot to list. You can take a look at what's in the slots. Okay, so hit F3 again to get the highlight, and you can see we have a French horn here starting at -100, a trumpet down here, oboe, crooner, wow, horse, heart, all that stuff. So these are the new ones. If we go out here, and we can see that they're also here in the positive slots 100 through 120. And then these are our profile slots. This is actually profile slot 0 at 128, and it really doesn't know kind of what's going on there. So let's fill those slots then. F2 again. Let's go get the profiles. All right, hit enter, bring it down here, and we say pro pump. And that's just pumping up our profile slots. All right, go back here, up arrow, take a look at the slots again. So we didn't overwrite any of the presets yet. We're overwriting the profiles right now. Okay, F3 again. We go out here, we see we've got our brand new system profiles. So this is slot 0 actually, and it has analog, mine, sculpture, and then these are also analog, mine, sculpture. But these are 50 hertz, and these are 60 hertz. So, and then it's just repeated out here in the negative slots. And the reason you see 2 5s is because 4 and 5 are the same, and it always picks the higher one. So, but what are we missing here? We're missing our system profile. So we go back to the F2 screen, hit F2 again, and we go over and get our file. Hit enter, and then we say. Here we want to put it in slot 0, P2S, sys. So we're going to put it in the profile to slot and system. And that's pretty quick. F3, up arrow, look again. So if you had a fairly up-to-date system, if you did the last update, you could this is kind of like the procedure that you'd follow. So F3 again, and we can see my profile is here in 128. So that's cool. But if you've got like an older system, like you can see like all these profiles are kind of under-recognized because they've been updated. So let's do the blast that we should have done for this older F2 again. Let's go back over here. Okay, what we should do for an older system is do the backup like we did of, you know, our snapshot, our EEPROM snapshot, and get our profile file. If it's not too old, it's worth backing up. And then we'll put the highlight on the EEPROM. And then this is going to take a while. So let me talk about the stuff that's new. Obviously, the preset space has been expanded from ±99 to ±120. The profile space has been expanded from 0 to 3 to ±7. So you have some negative profile slots that are read-only. So you can manage those with the editor here. And you can stick, you know, important profiles there, and they won't accidentally get overwritten in normal use. There's a whole lot of remote control stuff that happened. You can control the knobs now via serial port really easily, very straightforwardly. You don't have to have any knowledge of the layout of the memory. That you used to have intimate knowledge of that, and it would kind of change with each load, so that wasn't so good, or it could have. The MIDI octave is now combined with the bank rather than with the oscillator octave, and the pitch bend now, thanks to Vincent, the pitch bend now, when the bend is set to 0, the pitch bend is centered. So that seems like a good kind of consistent change. And yeah, with the remote stuff, we can also change the preset that's playing. We can also change the preset that it gets loaded, and we can also even load new profiles, and we can even change the screen that the person can see on the LCD. So, and we can do an ACAL too, remotely. So there's a bunch of junk there that you can do new. And on the Librarian, a bunch of stuff has changed. We've got a new E to K sys command, so we can put the system knobs, we can transmit them from the editor to the D-Lev. And the E to K now, I think it did it just this before too. It just uploads the preset knobs to the D-Lev. There's a new, well, you saw them here in action. There's a new pre-dump and a pro dump and a pre-pump and a pro pump. And there's a new CRC command. Here, I can do it for you. This is Deb. Debbie here shows you have a good CRC over your software load. There's also a SPI dump, so you can dump your software and save it if you want. And there's more highlight kind of chunk kind of going on. If you hit the control up arrow, or down arrow, it'll turn on the highlight, so you don't have to go up and hit the F1, 2, or 3 key depending on what screen you're on. That's kind of handy. And also, when the highlight is on and you hold down the control, it kind of accelerates the movement. And also, there's no modulo behavior anymore. It won't wrap around. So let's go to the F3 screen and do the select a list and take a look again at what's going on. Okay, you can see we've got F3 again. We've got all our new presets here. We've got Trixie here in 0. And we have all of our new presets here. And also, you can see that our system preset here got overwritten along with everything else. System profile, rather. So we go back to the F2 screen. We go get that profile. Enter 0. to us, sys. Okay. I could have used the up arrow because the command was already done before. Okay, so now we got our profile back. So, you know, if you got an older one, that's kind of what I recommend. Blast it with the EEPROM and restore your profile if it's not too old. So, what's new here, if we do K to E, it loads all the knobs. And if you notice here, we can now change the load in the store, and we can change the profile also if we want to. So that's kind of handy. So we turn it on. So if I hold down the Alt key, oh, it's not the store. Now you can change all your presets, which is kind of cool. And you can mute it if you want. So that's cool. And let's see, you can change the octave and so that's kind of handy. Well, there's just all other kinds of stuff you can do with it. And if you're not doing this, you can do like an ACAL. So that just did an ACAL. You can also do, you can change knob settings in the terminal. So let's read all of the knobs, the first page knobs. So those are the knobs that are on the first page. And I can mute it if you want me to see, if you want to see that. Like we can say that's knob 1. We want to mute it. WK, let me turn it on. So you can see that I muted it there. I can turn it back on. So that's kind of the way to read and write the knobs. You can also do an ACAL here. And I guess you didn't hear much change there, but it did happen. So there's that. And that's kind of about it. Alright, let's escape out of this. So that's about it. So if you have any trouble updating it or have any questions, please let me know. Alright, thanks, bye.